To load the filament into the printer, we already mentioned that we're not going to use the built-in spool holder. Instead, you use this 3D printed spool holder that I'll supply you with. And we're going to put the spool on the spool holder so that the filament is going to be coming from the bottom, because the mechanism on the machine is low down and we want the filament to just come up from the bottom of the spool and right into that hole. When you take the filament off the spool, be very careful not to lose control of the end of the filament, because you'll see that it's like a wound spring. And if the end of the filament passes under one of the loops, it'll create a knot that will travel, and halfway through your print, that knot may tighten up and then just stop the filament from feeding into the printer. So always maintain control of the end of the filament. We're going to snip the end of the filament because we want there to be a nice clean end for the filament to feed into the extruder mechanism. And I'm also snipping at an angle, as you can see here, so that I get a point that'll help the filament feed better. So you can see the spring-loaded mechanism. If I squeeze that lever, you can see it separates the gears. So I'm going to feed the filament into the hole in the bottom here, and then squeeze the lever and push the filament up until I see it passing all the way through and appearing in the white tube above. Okay. Now I'm going to push the filament all the way until I can't push it any further. Not forcing it, just pushing lightly. And the whole time I'm feeding the filament in, I'm squeezing this lever here so that the gears are separated and I can push it freely. Now on our screen, we've turned on the machine. We're at the welcome screen. I'm going to push the button to select next. If you're not on next, you can move between the selections by rotating the button. I don't want to quit. I'm going to choose next. And it says step 1, load filament. I'll press next. And now it says heating nozzle, please wait. And on the bottom, you can see that the temperature is increasing. The target temperature is 210 degrees Celsius. That's very hot. It's over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So you never want to touch the printing nozzle when it's hot, because you'll burn instantly. So be aware of that. But you can see the temperature is quickly rising, 62, 3, 4. When it reaches the target temperature, the printer beeps, and it says to insert the filament, which we have already done, and to press the button to continue. So we'll go ahead and press the button, and it says wait for filament purge. And you can see what it's doing is that it's spitting the filament out. You may notice that there was a different color at the beginning, so there was a little bit of residue of the previous color that was used in the filament, probably in the factory where they were testing it. And that'll happen each time you load new color filament. You'll see a little bit of the previous filament there. But now we see that the blue filament is coming out nice and evenly, so we can press the button to stop it. Resume options, continue, or purge more. So if you didn't have the color that you wanted, your new color, you could purge more, but I'm going to choose continue instead because I'm done. And now it says insert SD card and next. So we're ready to print.